There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is...
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour. So take off your pants, crack a beer and get ready for the world's most cosmic action figure video podcast. Folks, we need to talk about last night. Because they just announced the Haslab Galactus and he looks breathtaking. Absolutely gorgeous. They took the Sentinel and then went, you like that? Well, hold on to your butts, because we got a little something something for you. And oh my goodness, Galactus looks like he is going to deliver big time. But like a fine wine, who do you pair him with? Well, we're going to find out right now. So, Galactic, the cosmic devourer of worlds. Who does he go with in your Galactus display that you will be basing your entire collection, nay, house around? So, of course, the first connection that everyone draws is the Fantastic Four. Goes without saying, Marvel's first family. Which version is entirely up to you, but I personally am going to choose the modern ones. I was going to say, I don't want to say the newest ones, because we're about to get newer ones, but the modern Fantastic Four. So kicking off with, for example, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. Now, why am I going for the more modern ones rather than the Walgreens ones? Man, words are hard. Why am I choosing these ones? Because the Walgreens ones, you know what? I'm not actually a big fan of the Walgreens ones. I love the fact that they have more effects and display options, but the black and blue just looks kind of dingy, I feel. Whereas these modern ones, they feel modern, they feel brighter, newer, better body sculpt. I love the little details on the boots, but more so just it feels like current, up-to-date, new-gen sort of figures. Not like WWF New Gen, which was awful, but action figure New Gen, which is great. Now, of course, we're going to be getting the Retro Fantastic Four line, and I'm sure that line is going to be beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful, which might make these modern figures redundant. But hey, this is what we're working with for now. This is what we're going to get, and believe me, with the Galactus coming out, yeah, I will be getting the modern figures coming out for that retro wave with the beautiful white and blue. It's going to look gorgeous. But in the meantime, we have Johnny Storm here, who's partially flamed on, and that kind of gets me thinking. This new retro Johnny Storm is just powered down regular Johnny Storm, which I think a few people, myself included, were surprised about. So are we going to get a new flame version? I hope so. Because the old Walgreens one, I still have. It looks great. But I would love a new, modern, flame-on, awesome-looking Human Torch. But in the meantime, this Human Torch looks terrific. So just to go over very quickly the other members of this Fantastic Four set. This is the Super Skrull set, of course. We have the Invisible Woman, who in comparison to the Walgreens version, she looks a little bit more glammed up, like she was getting ready for a night out and then had to be called into action. But still, a great female head sculpt, looks really cool, nice flowing hair. I really, really enjoyed that Sue Storm figure. I think it suits the character really well. Then we've got a bit more of a maligned character, the Reed Richards, with his stretchy fingers. And when he was first announced, I, for one, was like, really, dude? Really? We're getting stretchy fingers? That's all you're giving us? Just, what? Yeah, I was a bit disappointed. I think a lot of people were disappointed. After the Walgreens one had the interchangeable long stretchy arms, we just get stretchy fingers, and it's like, come on, son. You could do better than that. But what makes up for that, though, is a fantastic head sculpt. I love the beard. I love the grey in the hair. The sort of slightly cock eyebrow kind of thing going on there. He looks like a scientist kind of sizing up a situation. That's really cool. So he is a really good Reed Richards. It would have just been a lot of fun if we'd had more stretchy kind of posing options. And then, of course, Gangway! It's the thing! I prefer this thing to the Walgreens one. And if you want to see my full assessment, there is a video way back in the archives where I was comparing the two waves and being like, which ones do I prefer? The Walgreens one ultimately won out because of all the extras, but I prefer the lighter coloured wash on this thing. I think it's brighter. It just stands out more on the shelf. I love the kind of airbrushing sort of look on his chest that just brings it up and then makes the shadows look more crack-like, and it's just great. I love the thing. So this is Marvel's first family that you can pair up with your brand new Haslab Galactus. You know, I was just about to finish editing this video and then I remembered, like, one of the most obvious Galactus characters is, of course, the Watcher. And we don't have a Marvel Legend of the Watcher yet, but there is a Select Watcher, and I was holding off on buying him for the longest time because the average Select one went for about $200. Like, that's half a Galactus. But Select are reissuing their Watcher, so you can now pre-order a new Select Watcher to go with your Galactus, and all will be right with the world. Now, of course, what would Galactus be without his Herald or Heralds? And that, of course, includes the Silver Surfer. In this case, the Fallen Silver Surfer, because I don't have the Walgreens Silver Surfer. I know, along with Doctor Strange, is probably the biggest omission in my collection. Very annoying, but at the same time, I could remedy it, but I don't want to because I know we're going to get a new one eventually. And I'm not going to pay $60 for a regular figure. I'm sorry, I've got my pride. I'll pay much, much more for a Haslab, but I sure as heck won't pay that for a regular figure. So hopefully we will be getting a new Silver Surfer to go along with this Galactus Haslab. My brain just stopped working there with this new Galactus Haslab figure. Wow, that was a tough sentence to get out. But hopefully it might just be one of the tiers. Although I know a lot of people might be like, I don't want it to be one of the tiers. I already own a Silver Surfer. And to that I say, but I want it. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, the Fallen Silver Surfer is just beautiful. This chrome, darker kind of look, like at a glance, could totally be the Silver Surfer. If you remember, although I don't know why you'd want to, the Fantastic Four live-action sequel movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer, he actually looked more of this kind of chrome sort of colour. Totally works for a Silver Surfer stand-in. But of course there are other heralds as well, but not very many in Marvel Legends form. In fact, not very many in my collection, because I'll say a big one is Terrax, who is a Build-A-Figure from the before time. From the long, long ago. I have never even seen a Terrax in the wild before. I don't know how many people have him in their collection, so he's not a common figure to find. Those who have him, kudos, because he probably will be fetching a fair few pennies right about now. But if you have him, then of course, he's going to go straight in next to Galactus. But who knows? Maybe we'll be getting some updated heralds pretty soon. Speaking of updated heralds, we also have Nova. And this is where I'm going to start to show my ignorance. And you're going to be like, Dave, you started showing your ignorance the second you started this channel. Well, that being the case, I'm enhancing that perception of being mildly ignorant about a lot of things, or a lot ignorant about a mild amount of things. I know, I hear, I pray tell that Nova was a Herald of Galactus at some point in time. I don't know if he looked like this. I imagine he got a power upgrade and looked different. All I'm saying is, I haven't read the wiki, but I just know that I have this modern cosmic annihilation wave style Nova. I'm stumbling all over my words this morning. This is first thing in the morning, and I should have waited to wake up before filming this, but that's fine because it's a more honest kind of podcast video review thing. So Nova will pair up nicely with your Galactus, even if this doesn't look like the Herald Nova. I don't know. I gotta go on Marvel Unlimited and find out more. Now, going back to the Fantastic Four side more, of course, the D-Man. You got the G-Man, you gotta have the D-Man. That's just how it works. And no, I don't mean Mr. Dumphy. This guy, Dr. Doom. We have two Dooms. They're both beautiful. We got this modern one and we got the retro one. My collection, this little display here, is kind of skewing more modern with this Galactus because I feel that's what Hasbro have done as well. Kind of like with the Sentinel Haslab project, they're kind of going more modern look while still keeping the retro aesthetic. It's a very groovy thing. So you can see that they don't have some of the more campy kind of looks that the original Galactus designs have. I don't know if he had it in his first look, but there's like a bare arm Galactus, and that always looked kind of campy to me, or even bare leg, like he was wearing sort of a Roman style skirt. His costume looked more Roman because he had the bare limbs, and it looked kind of, dare I say, silly. Also, he had the G on his belt as well, I think, and it's like, why would a cosmic devourer of words have Roman alphabet on him? It makes no sense. But then again, it does make sense, because if you'll allow me to digress a little bit, one of the things I really love about Galactus and the mythology of Galactus is that this look is only how the human race sees him. That was something I thought was really, really cool. People said, like, why would the Cosmic Devourer look like a giant man baby? And the reason is, it's the collective consciousness's manifestation of Galactus. Basically, Galactus is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Think about it. We choose the form of our destructor. That's really cool. I'm sure that when Galactus turns up, Ray was like, oh no, I thought of the one thing that could never hurt us. So that's kind of fun. I'd love to see some fan art, actually. Galactus versus the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That would be kind of fun. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Doctor Doom. What is Doctor Doom always trying to do? That sneaky little bugger? Always trying to steal the power cosmic. So of course, we gotta have Doctor Doom somewhere around the display, just maniacally holding back and waiting to see when his moment to strike will be. And as I was saying, it's a more modern Galactus, so we go with a more modern Doom. Now, since I had the Fallen Silver Surfer in there, it would behoove me not to include the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Speaking of heralds, of course, I forgot. I have a Herald of Galactus right here. One of the most modern, if not the most modern from Marvel Legends. A bonkers figure that I love dearly. I think this is so bizarre, so crazy, and not that hard to find either. He's still on pretty regular general release. You can pick him up for retail price, I would say. And if you don't have him, now is your perfect excuse to get him. Just picture this guy swooping in alongside Galactus. How cool is that going to look? Because Galactus looks huge and massive with the lights. Tell you what, with the light effects on Galactus, you can buy a little light, put it in here. You got that light glowing as well. That's gonna look amazing, honey. That's what y'all need to do, alright? Make it so. Make it happen. Your toy room will look incredible, and this figure looks incredible. I love the bike. He's got a fishbowl with a flaming skull in it. Come on, that's just top tier right there. So Cosmic Ghost Rider, 100%, a million billion %. If you're getting Galactus, get yourself an amazing Cosmic Ghost Rider figure. And of course, whose mini-series was it that the Cosmic Ghost Rider was introduced in? Thanos. Now, you could always go King Thanos, as that was kind of the story, but still, there are so many different versions of Thanos, and we can fudge things around a little bit, because why wouldn't I want to use just the beautiful, deluxe, classic-looking Thanos? Also, the Select Thanos would be a great choice as well, because he is a more modern-looking Thanos too. Not the Select Thanos with death, but the modern Select Thanos. But I love this Jim Starlin looking Thanos. And if we're going cosmic high concept, then of course we want the cosmic high concept design with his golden Wellington boots and the maniacal kind of laugh. I just absolutely dig this figure so much. Any excuse to add him to a collection. Now then, those are my kind of main central Galactus type figures. And again, this is based off of really limited Galactus knowledge. Okay, so I could be way off base with a few things, but now I have a few more cosmic characters who I'm like, well, you're kind of periphery sort of Galactus adjacent, so let's take a look at them. First of all, one that might be a little bit unexpected. Captain Universe. You see, because you always think sort of cosmic Spider-Man, so you don't necessarily immediately associate him with just general cosmic entities. But this dude is like an ultimate heavy hitter. And granted, I said, you just associate with him with Spider-Man. Nah, I just associate him with Spider-Man. But then again, I always just equate my feelings to that of everyone else in the world. That's how it works, isn't it? But yeah, Captain Universe. He's just the most powerful kind of light cosmic energy. I love what they did with this character in the recent King in Black storyline, where technically it's like a symbiote. It's the opposite of Null, who is the symbiote god of darkness. This is the symbiote god of light. It's such a great comparison that was staring us in the face the whole time. And yeah, Captain Universe looks really cool. I threw some extra power effects on there. He's great for any cosmic display. Now I know we may be drifting away from Galactus, but hey, in for a penny, in for a pound. Captain Marvel, Marvel. I don't know anything about this guy, but I bought him because he's such a classic Marvel character. I mean, everyone knows the story of the death of Captain Marvel. Again, that's the royal everyone there. But yeah, I had to pick him up. He's cosmic, he will go on the cosmic shelf, and he's a nice looking figure. Very basic, but still, he's good. Since we were going so hard on the Fantastic Four characters, you gotta just throw in the Super Skrull as well. Because my brain always thinks Annihilation Wave, Super Skrull, it's all cosmic universe spanning type characters. So yeah, if you're having a Cosmic Universe Galactus display, he gets a place there without a doubt. And granted, I know we're kind of going less Galactus display now and just general cosmic display, but hey, let's embrace it. Speaking of cosmic display, Adam Warlock, who's maybe kind of a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon sort of connection to Galactus, since Thanos is his main counterpoint. But then again, Thanos and Galactus are always butting heads as well, so this guy is never going to be too far from a fracas. Can I think of any stories where that has occurred or could actually prove the point I'm saying? No. I'm more of a New York Earth-based kind of guy. I'm your friendly neighborhood YouTube action figure reviewer. I don't get too cosmic because it's too far removed from my familiar stomping grounds. But I do like some of the characters, in particular, this guy right here. Going back to the Marvel Jennis type family, Jenna Spell. I was just showing off this figure recently for a different video. Can't remember which one it was, but I love the paint speckles. Oh, it was the underrated. The underrated figures. This guy, so wonderfully underrated. Great cosmic character. I mean, look, his entire costume is like a star system, so you can't get much more cosmic than that. Great Centurion looking armor. I dig Jenna Spell so much. What do I know about him? Pretty much nothing, except that he rocks a badass 300 Spartan type helmet. That's good enough for me. The Cosmic Gardener. I'm out. Ex Nihilo? I can't even pronounce his name. I just got him because he was going cheap and he's a bright, giant, golden. He is a golden god! Why not? I have no idea what he does, who he's connected to, or how he relates to the universe, but he's a fun universe type character, so chuck him in there. One of the most convoluted backstory origin type characters we have, Angela. Again, should have probably... Well, no. People said I should have put her on my underrated figures list, but you know what? I don't think she's underrated. People generally say that this is a really good Marvel legend, and you know what? They're not wrong. So many different details and extras and different parts and weapons and designs. Really cool figure, and so weird how she was made for a Spawn comic over at Image, but Image lets the creators keep their artist rights to the characters they make. So when, I think it was it Neil Gaiman? I think it was Neil Gaiman. When he went over to Marvel, he was like, hey, I own Angela. I'm going to use her. And they did. And I think she's like Thor's sister. Maybe adopted, who knows? Well, Loki's adopted, so maybe it is all like an adopted family. Just showing my ignorance again. I need to stop talking sometimes because it's so true that it is best to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and show the world how little you know about cosmic characters. And finally, we have Beta Ray Bill. Yes, Beta Ray Bill. Thank you very much, folks in the comments who said, you know, Dave, you realize it's pronounced beta, like the alphabet, alpha, beta. I'm like, that makes a lot more sense. I love it when I get those little revelations where something I've been doing for 40 years, something clicks and I'm like, oh wait, that was wrong the whole time. There you go. So, Beta Ray Bill. I would love a more classic 90s Beta Ray Bill. It actually sounds quite satisfying pronouncing it like that now. But in the meantime, a giant, hefty, bulked up horse Norse. A horse Norse. Wow. Did no one ever put that together before? Horse-norse. That's a funny little... Snorse! He's a snorse god. And I love him. Great. And so perfect for any cosmic display. And again, like I was saying with Doom, he actually does... This design skews more modern anyway, so goes really well with the modern Galactus. Jobs are good 'un. And that is my collection of universe galactic type figures. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Boy, if that proved anything to me, it's that I really need to finish my coffee before making these. But I woke up excited. I woke up really psyched about this Haslab Galactus. I've paid my monies. I've put in my order. Let's find out what those tiers are. I don't know if we're going to make all of them, because there's a high benchmark just to get this thing greenlit, let alone get the extra tiers. But whether it's accessories or different characters, heralds, I am so excited. I really can't wait. So guys, before I go, look, I don't want to bring this down, all right? And I'm sorry that I have to do this, but on a previous episode, I said that the Displaying Model Behaviour Patreon was closed and that I wasn't allowing any more applications. It's an exclusive club. Well, Matthew defied me. He heard me say that the club is closed, and you know what? He went to Patreon anyway, and he took advantage of a loophole in Patreon's system that allows anyone to sign up anytime they want, and he has joined our Patreon members. And you know what? Now he can enjoy all of the exclusive videos, the special content, and all the extras that come with being a Patreon supporter. And you know what, Matthew? I hope you're happy, alright? Because you defied me. But at the same time, I forgive you. But just no one else follow his example, because if you do, penalties will be created and enforced. This is your last warning, okay? So the Model Behaviour Patreon consists of these incredible, badass, awesome members, and that is it! I am putting my foot down. Don't make me go devourer of worlds on your ass. I need to choose easier words to say at this time in the morning. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behaviour.